Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest hits of all times.
It's time now to take a romp through the San Joaquin Valley's rock scene of the 1960s with Dick Lee of the Brymers. And Lord have mercy, here comes the Iceman.
You're listening to Amsterdam International Radio. Join me, Dick Lee, and the Iceman for 60 minutes of mind-blowing sounds. The song you're listening to right now is Do You Think You Love Me? It is off the Brymers' 40-Year-Old Brotherhood album. It is written by Jimmy Mellick and yours truly. Crank up that volume, baby, and get ready to rock and roll. Hump day, the work week, but now it's the weekend. Get that air guitar in tune, grab something that looks like a microphone, and I want you to slide right out in the middle of that kitchen floor just like Tom Cruise did in Risky Business. Crank it up, baby, because it's time for some of that good old time rock and roll.
You'll never even get me out on the floor in 10 minutes.
You just heard from Bob Seger and his Silver Bullet Band. Wow, what a great track that was. It's a great song to get me and the Iceman in the mood. My partner in crime, the Iceman, is going to spin another one of our favorite songs, and this was out of the year 1962. So cue it up, Iceman, and hit it. Oh, by the way, have you been eating some of those A&W hamburgers again? Man, you smell like onions.
Listening to Booker T and his MGs talking about them green onions. Them green onions, man, they're making me hungry. It got me thinking about Jethro's Rib and Chicken Palace. Features the best breast and thighs you ever let cross your lips. Ah, you're gonna love to death, baby. Hey, you know what this says? This is the cat with that pretty muscle-bound face. It's the cat that you love. It's a cat who brought you all those oldies but goodies. Those flashes from the past. Those good old good ones. Love them to death, baby. I'm the cat that is so cool that you gotta call me the Iceman.
Iceman, it sounds like you and that pretty muscle-bound face of yours is doing okay today. Good to have you with us and all of you garage rock heads out there. And tomorrow I'm going to go to that Jeffro's Rib and Chicken Palace and I'm going to try out some of that food. And Iceman, you're not the official greeter there, are you? Hey, now it's time to get some of that cool 60s garage rock from the Valley. Up first, we're going to go to a Fresno-based band. The year was 1966, and this is a live recording at the Rainbow Ballroom, one of my favorite 60s garage rock bands and good friends, the Fabulous Roadrunners. The track, The Train Kept A-Rollin'. And that'll be followed by a 1968 Lodi-based band called John Covert and the Crystal Image. These guys are a great band and continue to perform over 150 to 200 gigs a year. Here's their 1968 track of Can You Feel It? Listen to this great soul vibe that this song has. But first, Fresno, 1966, live at the Rainbow Ballroom with Randy Hall and Denver Cross. A little bit of that, The Train Kept A-Rollin'.
In New York City, Atlanta, let her roll, yes I did. Oh, yeah, I just couldn't let her go. Yes, I couldn't move on. Sweet little mama, move along. Yellow wind, move along. Sweet little mama, move along. Yellow wind, wanna be oh, yeah, I just couldn't let her go. Yes, I could. Jackie, she must have thought I was a rip-off shit. We got off the train and I felt low. She felt so good, Jack, I couldn't let go. Move on, yeah, I just couldn't let her go. Yes, I could, but move along. Sweet little mama, move along. Yeah, don't wait, we'll move along. Sweet little woman, move along. Yeah, don't wait, wanna be. Oh, yeah, I just couldn't let her go. Yes, I could. Now, when you got your music, you can keep your head big and at the same time lose it. Got to feel it. I've got to feel it. Oh, got to feel it. All right. You don't need no booze now when your mind's in motion. You don't need no bills, babe, to hear the roar of oceans. Can you feel it? Oh, can you feel it? God, can you feel it? All right.
Everything you're doing in terms of music from this era, especially for people of the Central Valley of California, just the coolest time to live back then. And to have all these live bands, you know, they don't do that anymore. And I think it brings back a lot of good memories for everyone.
Many thanks to Lloyd Vandegrift of a 1966 band out of Corcoran. They were called the Anonymous Five, and Lloyd is also a member of a Clovis-based group called the Human Project. Here's one of his great original Southern rock tracks called Going South. And that'll be followed by a singer that I have not played before. He's a good friend, and we recorded many tracks back in the day. Here is his Southern rock track called Battle in the Bottle. His name is Lee Cook, or as we like to call him, Joe Grease. But first, Clovis Lloyd Vandegrift, the Human Project, and Going South. And man, I really like this song.
bought me a whiff of that Tennessee whiskey, and I knew right then I wasn't going up there. I made my way on back to Memphis, and I got myself right down on Bill. When the B.B. King's new nightclub, got myself some real cold beer. Mr. King was playing that Gibson, you know the one he called Lucille. Thrill might have been gone for B.B., but for me, it was time to squeal, yeah. I said, tried to leave for California, but I was having such a damn good time. Real good food and southern music. I guess I had Dixie on my mind. I left early one morning. I touched right down Los Angeles. Thought I smelled some old magnolias. I guess my mind was playing tricks on me. Drove all the way back up to Fresno. The air was thick as it could be. Didn't take long for me to change things. The land of cotton was calling me. Move on. Well, I'm feeling kinda lonely, moving kinda slow. My baby just told me where I can go with my drinking and smoking, all that running around. Yeah, she don't even want me, says that I care more about this bottle than I do her. And you know, I think she's right, I do have a problem. You see, it's here in this bottle, sitting on my dash. It strips my senses and kicks my ass, and it's gotten me in more than one hell of a fix. It's a hell of a problem, trying to win the battle in the bottle with a big old grin. She stayed mad, she said no. My baby looked at me, said, get out of here, Joe. You know I'm feeling kinda lonely, moving kinda slow. My baby just told me where I can go. You see the back in the bottle. Oh, come on, helping me win. kicks my ass. It's got me in more than one hell of a fix. Yeah, like the time I rolled my car off a freeway bridge, busted down and teased something stupid I did, and I showed up drunk to do a 1 hour showtime gig. Yeah, it's a hell of a problem, trying to win, battle in the bottom, the big old grin. She stayed mad, she said no, my baby looked at me, she said, get out of here, Joe, you know I'm feeling kinda lonely, moving kinda slow. My baby just told me where I could go, you see I'm battling in the bottom, Lord, come on, helping me win. You see I'm battling in the bottom, Lord, come on, helping me win. You see I'm battling the bottom, Lord, come on and help me win.
Hey, Iceman.
What you want?
You know what time it is right now? It's time to say hello to some of our friends around the country who have contacted us and said that they're really digging some of these good old good ones. It's shout-out time. Our first shout-out goes to Lee Cook, a great songwriter, composer, and a dear friend. Keep writing those great southern rock tracks. Also, a big shout-out to Steve Brown in Fresno, Jerry Yada in Clovis, and our good old buddy Captain Mike and his fabulous, fundable crew in the Bay Area. And Mike, believe it or not, that crew of yours got a hold of me, and they asked me to play one more song and dedicate it especially to you.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more.
And Captain Mike, once again, it wasn't me, and it even wasn't the Iceman. Someone in that crew of yours got a hold of me, Captain Mike, so you better watch out. You might have a traitor on board up there. Hey, speaking of the Iceman, he came up with that wonderful word to describe your crew. And Iceman, why don't you tell us once again what that word is?
Are you ready? It's wonderful. Yes, that putting the fun and the wonderfulness together. You want to hear it again? Wonderful. I'm proud of that original word. And as I officially added to the English language, it's time to put the meaning of this useful word into music form, you know?
I'm a bad boy, baby. Bad from the start. Grew up in Louisiana. That's when things fell apart. In a sad boy, mama. My mama was a kid queen. Raised in the red light
times and great oldies.
Welcome back, Dick Lee here, and this is my favorite segment of the show. This is where I get a chance to talk with some of these architects of rock and roll music out of the 1960s and 1970s. And on the line today, I have a dear friend and a true architect of rock and roll music throughout the 1960s and 70s and up to the present day. His name is Merrell Fankhauser. He's a songwriter, musician, recording artist, audio engineer, author, producer of a monthly TV show called The Tiki Lounge, and in addition to all that, he's released over 50 albums in his career. He is still recording, and he has a new project coming out, and he's going to be talking about it with us soon. I really wanted all you garage rock heads out there to hear this rich musical history that Merrell Fankhauser has. In this segment, Merrell continues with how the group Moo was formed, their recordings, their move to Maui, recording with John Cipollina, the lead guitarist for Quicksilver Messenger Service, his monthly TV show, The Tiki Lounge, and his meeting with John Lennon of the Beatles. So let's continue where we left off last Saturday. Merrell, thanks for sharing how the group Moo was formed. Now, the next question revolves around the recordings of Moo. How many albums did Moo record?
2 albums and a few extra tunes. And Sundays, the label in New York did a real nice double CD collection of all of the songs, and also including the 2 singles that Moo had out, One More Day and On Our Way to Hana. And then a Swedish label put a double CD set out too. And those are out of print now, but they can still get them from me directly if you go to my website, merrellfankhauser.com, merrellfankhauser.com. You'll see a whole catalog of rare and collectible CDs and LPs.
If I may, Merrell, I'd like to interrupt, and I'd like to remind all the garage rock heads out there that later on, in case you happen to have forgotten what Merrell's website address is, you can contact me through the station at Cool 104.5 or through the Brymers website, and I will forward that address to you. He has some great albums on there and CDs for sale. Now, Merrell, I'd like to back up just a wee bit if I may. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but you were in Maui for about 15 years, and then you moved back over to the Arroyo Grande area by Pismo Beach. Is that correct?
I came back and forth a few times, and I recorded in 1976. I did an album with my girlfriend, fiddle player Mary Lee, and Dino O'Reilly, who worked for George Harrison and produced Phoebe Snow and her hit Poetry Man. He took us in the studio and recorded us, and we got an album out, which has been reissued several times now on a British label, a Swedish label, and in the United States, and it's become known as Merrell Fankhauser, the Maui album from 1976. So we did that, and it started generating a lot of interest and airplay and gigs over here on the mainland. So in 1987, I decided to move back to California, and I came back here to where I lived all the time in Arroyo Grande.
Next, Merrell, I'd like to ask you about your monthly TV show, The Tiki Lounge. You've really had some cool entertainers on that show over the years. Maybe share with the listeners right now a little bit about The Tiki Lounge.
Yeah, well, in it was about 91 and 92, a local station here in Arroyo Grande wanted me to do a music show. So I started doing a show called California Music, and it was picked up by a satellite network in New York called Channel America. And so I started having, when people found out I had a national TV show, California Music, that was broadcast to 15 million people across the United States, everybody wanted to be on it. Sky Saxon of the Seeds, who I'd known from the 60s, he came on the show, went down to Mike Love's house in Santa Barbara, did an interview with him of the Beach Boys. He was on the show. Dean Torrance of Jan and Dean, who I'd known for years. And then along came Nicky Hopkins, who was the greatest piano player that played with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the Who, and he even played on some Quicksilver songs. He played on John Lennon's Imagine album, and he and I had a great friendship, and there's 2 actually live performances that we did on California Music with Roger Capps, the bass player from Pat Benatar's band, and you can see some of these on YouTube if you just go there and type in Merrell Fankhauser's Tiki Lounge. And so all of these people just started appearing, and then there was Ed Cassidy, the great drummer from Spirit, and Randy California, the guitarist guitar player, and the list just goes on and on. So around 2001, I had quit doing the TV show around 97 because I had to. It was on 3 times a week, and it was taking up so much of my time. I didn't have much time to write songs or even go out and play because I couldn't travel out of the area because I had to be back on the set every Friday night. So I quit doing the California music show, and around 2000, I went over to Maui and did a tour with Willie Nelson, and then I went to Kauai to play a gig over there, and I ended up coming back to California, and I had all this footage that was shot of me playing with Willie and playing on Kauai, and the local TV station got a hold of me in San Luis, this time the cable station, San Luis Obispo, and said, hey, we know you did that other show. We'd like for you to do a show on the cable channel here. And so I said, well, I don't know if I want to do it. It takes a lot of time. And they said, well, you just came back from a tour. Couldn't you take some of that footage and edit it and maybe take some of the stuff from your old California music show and edit parts out of that? And I went, okay. So I had bought this 7.5-foot tall tiki that you've seen that's in my studio here, and I was looking at the Tiki one night, and I went, maybe I should do a show and call it Tiki Lounge. And that was 2001, and that's how Tiki Lounge was born, and then put out the word. I was doing the show, and more people from the 60s and the 70s turned up, and, you know, we started filming live concerts with people, and I've had so many people on there, I can't even remember them all, from Bonnie Raitt to Sal Valentino, the lead singer from the Beau Brummels. I think you knew him.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
And Dean Torrance again, and just lots of people. And then I decided to build a stage on my back lot that you've performed on several times. And it just keeps going, and we're over 100 shows now on the air for nearly 15 years, going to 3 million people up and down the coast here and in Hawaii.
That is very cool. It really is. And I just think it's wonderful, one, that you've archived all this and to see some of those. I know one that I really got a kick out of that you shared with me was a fellow that I met back in the 60s when I lived in Atascadero. A group called the Sentinels were out of San Luis Obispo, and the drummer, Johnny Barbeta, I believe you interviewed him.
Oh, yeah. It was great seeing Johnny again because I hadn't seen him, and the last time I'd seen him was about 1969 at the Musicians Union in Los Angeles, and he put out his autobiography, and he called me up and said he was coming through town, and he knew about my Tiki Lounge and wanted to know if I would like to interview him and plug his autobiography. The interesting thing that surprised me was he moved to Ada, Oklahoma from Marin County.
Oh, wow.
Some years ago, and I thought, wow, what a change that is. But he lives out in the country there, and his wife sings, and they have a little band together. You know, it's not the big time like it was when he was playing in the Sentinels and then the Turtles, and then he did a stint with Crosby, Stills, and Nash and played in the Jefferson Starship for a while.
In case some of you garage rock fans aren't familiar with this fellow, once again, his name is Johnny Barbeta, a tremendous percussionist drummer, and he played with all of those great rock and roll groups out of the mid to late 1960s. And once again, he's from that area of San Luis Obispo with a band called the Sentinels. If you get a chance, go on YouTube, pull up some clips of some of these bands, and you can see him performing on the Ed Sullivan Show, Shindig, Where the Action Is, and all those great TV shows of that era. Johnny was one of the first drummers that put on a great show. In the midst of the song, he'd be twirling his sticks, and you'd wonder, how in the heck can this guy do this? But that's what he was known for. The next question I'd like to ask you, Merrell, is about John Lennon. I remember you and I discussing this a couple of years ago, that you said you had a chance to meet and chat with him.
Yeah, I came over here from Maui, and I was recording in Hollywood, and I was working on two of my favorite songs, Calling from a Star and Sail It Over the Ocean. And I had been friends with Harry Nilsson from the old days. Before Harry was even well known, I was introduced to him by his arranger, George Tipton. And he said, oh, I'm having a little party, you know, why don't you come by my house up in the Hollywood Hills? So I came over to his house. I think they even sent a car to pick me up at Joe Klein's in Hollywood. But anyhow, I walk in and there's John Lennon sitting in the corner amongst about 25 people, and I was kind of aghast, you know, and I had my acoustic guitar. I was really tanned with long blonde hair and my, you know, Hawaiian shirt, and he said, this is my friend, Harry says, this is my friend Merrell from Maui, and he's going to play a few songs for us. And I thought, oh my God, you know, and I'd never gotten nervous or stage fright in my entire life. I didn't really get stage fright, but I remember my lips started twitching. Anyhow, I played John and the whole group that was there my song, On Our Way to Hana. And immediately after I finished the song, he asked me what inspired the song, and we started talking, and the ice was broken. And it was just really one of those times that you wish there would have been a movie made of it or a camera or something. And so we went into Harry's dining room, and he and Harry, they were a comedy team together. They were really funny, throwing these one-liners back and forth. I remember there was wine and some cognac and stuff in a bucket of ice, and John and Harry got into this thing where they were de-toasting everybody in the music business that had ripped them off.
You just heard part 5 of a continuing interview with Merrell Fankhauser. And up next, I'm going to play a cool track that Merrell recorded while on Maui. The year was 1982, and the lead guitar player in this track is John Cipollina of the Quicksilver Messenger Service. A little bit of that It's All Right Mama. That'll be followed by another great garage rock band out of Bakersfield. The year was 1971, and they were called the United Sons of America. This is one of my favorite cuts off of their only album, Jerry Blake and Company, a little bit of that Children of the Mist. But first, Merrell Fankhauser, John Cipollina, and It's All Right Mama.
That's
children of the mist formed together, built a ship, for the destination lay beyond a star. As they sailed inside the sight, there appeared a form of light. So they opened up their eyes and saw. Then a wave upset their ship, broke it up in little bits. But the children who held pieces, they were saved. On the water they saw sand. Soon they woke up on dry land, where a strange sound was heard coming from a cave. The sound was the dry land voice, and it gave him but one choice. Do it right, he said, or I'll be forced to sing. For a while they seemed to hear, but then came greed and fear, and the elements rose round them past the brink. Children of the mist, who formed a giant fist, if you loosen up your grip, you travel far. 'Cause your ship keeps sailing on. Whether you are right or wrong is up to you on your way home past the stars. For a while they seemed to hear, but then came greed and fear, and the elements rose round them past the breeze. Children of the mist, who formed a giant fist, if you loosen up your grip, you travel far. 'Cause your ship keeps sailing on. Whether you are right or wrong is up to you on your way home past the stars.
Hey, Iceman, we just got a call from Carl in Hanford, and he wants to wish that lovely wife of his a happy anniversary. So, Amber, here it is, a special song for you, darling, from that man of yours, and see if you can remember this one here.
So beautiful, to me. You are so beautiful, to me. Can't you see? So beautiful,
Oh man, what a very cool track. The artist Joe Cocker, the year was 1974, and now a little garage rock nugget for all of you out there. The song was written by Billy Preston, Bruce Fisher, and Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys, once again in 1974. And Iceman, what do you think about this track? Do you think Carl's woman is going to be happy? All right, Iceman, now come on. You better keep it above board.
They really rockin' in Boston. It's
Hey, Iceman, do you remember the first time we ever met Chuck Berry? It was in 1965. We were on the road and we were backing him up. I'll never forget, Chuck Berry walked in and, of course, he was our idol of rock and roll music. And I walked up to him and said, "Hey, Chuck, what songs do you want to do tonight? What songs do you want us to play to back you up with?" And he looked at me wide-eyed and he said, "What do you mean, boy? We're going to play Chuck Berry songs." And with that, he jumped out on the stage in front of about 5,000 screaming kids and he hit Johnny B. Goode. All of us collectively said, "Oh, crap." So we ran out there and plugged in, jumped up on the drums, and began to follow him. We performed with Chuck many times after that, and he always reminded me of it and would always kid me about how I'd look when he said, "What do you mean, boy? We're going to play Chuck Berry songs."
Got the grown-up blues, tight dresses and lipstick, sporting high heels shoes. Oh, but tomorrow morning you'd have to change your dress. I'll be sweet 16, back in class again. But every rockin' out and dancing, it's a
Hey, up next for you, we're going to go to Fresno. The year was 1966, and we're going to feature Pat and Lolly Vegas, a great brother act, and their hit of Robot Walk. And then that'll be followed by a track from a Lemoore-based band called the Brymers. All members of the Brymers are of Native American descent, so we decided to write a song about our heritage. And this is off of our Never Too Old to Rock and Roll album, and is written by Kenny Sinner, Bill Brumley, Jim Millick, and yours truly. Here is a track called Down by the River. But first, Fresno, 1966, Pat and Lolly Vegas, and Robot Walk.
Here's something new, dedicated to you. Step in the groove, you've got nothing to lose. It's a brand new dance now, come on and give it a chance now. It's called the Robot Walk, it's called the Robot Walk. It's called the Robot Walk. It's called the Robot Walk. Wind up the key, then automatically It's called the robot walk. It's called the robot walk. Wind up the key, then automatically you and your girl machine, you both will see what I mean. It's a shiny new dance now. Come on and give it a chance now. It's called the robot walk. It's called the robot walk. It's called the robot walk. It's called the robot walk.
In a time of simple pleasure, when the air was clean and pure, people lived with deep respect for a land that gave them birth. The way they taught the children for the journey of their lives. Knowledge proudly passed through time of heritage and pride that sang at the river by the miracle line. A message delivered to the Father in the sky. Voices spoke a sacred land for lost spirits up above. They sang at the river for peace and for love. Oh, they sang at the river about the miracle line. A message delivered to the Father in the sky. Voices spoke a sacred land for lost spirits up above. They sang at the river for peace and for love. They sang at the river. 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 They sang at the river.
Hey girl, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You treated me bad.
Well, it's that time and I gotta get out of here. I'm Dick Lee. Join me and the Iceman next week for some of those cool, mind-blowing garage rock sounds from California's Central Valley. If you have a request, don't hesitate to contact me through this station or through the Brymers website at www.thebrimers.com. If there's a song you want to hear from a particular band, let me know and I will track it down especially for you. Iceman, we have some cool things lined up for next week's show. Do you think these garage rock heads are going to dig it?
You're gonna love it today.
Before we go, remember these wise words from the Iceman. I guarantee that they will enhance and help that relationship with your significant other. When you're wrong, admit it quickly. And when you're right,
Keep your big mouth shut. Keep your big mouth shut.
That's right, baby. Keep that big mouth shut. You be kind to one another out there and never get rid of that desire to climb a tree or run through the sprinklers. And remember this new word by the Iceman. Listen closely now.
Are you ready? It's wonderful. Yes, that putting the fun and the wonderfulness together. You want to hear it again? Wonderful.
Shaking your boogaloo, baby. Do the twist, do the word. And if you got time, do the jerk. Remember, baby, don't be L7. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Till next time, this is the Iceman saying, oh.